Welcome back. It has been a while, admittedly. I actually played and recorded all this quite a while ago, but I've been really busy with work, so thank you so much for your patience. Now, we need to train magic for Dr. Doom, so we need to head to the College of Winterhold, and full disclosure, I've turned the difficulty down from Legendary to Expert, just so that it's a little more enjoyable to watch.
Need a ride?
All right, we are here, and apparently we are hungry, which is typical after a cart ride. I'm going to head up to the entrance of the college, past some of these locals that are apparently having an argument. I am not going to get involved.
To the inn for a drink.
All right, past the guard. All right, that looks like that's it up there. So, just going to walk up here. Hey, it looks like there's someone standing there, so let's go see if they need anything to let us in.
Cross the bridge at your own peril. The way is dangerous and the gate will not open. You shall not gain entry.
All right, now that we are in, we need to have a conversation and a quick tour of the place, and hey, that looks a little bit different. I put on a mod that's supposed to change the look of the college, but I'm not sure what all is in here. So let's go up and have this conversation up here. Looks like we'll have to stand in line to get their attention.
I believe I've made myself rather clear.
Yes, of course.
Go on in, and if you have any problems, let one of our senior members know.
Of course, if I could learn that spell, and I forget, excuse you, fucker. I forget the name of the spell offhand, but it trades health for magicka. Then I could just use that in one hand, and then a healing spell in the other hand, and train destruction and restoration at the same time. Either way, I'll need to get through this ward lesson first before I can worry about any of that. Get past you. I really do like the capes that everybody wears in here. Ooh, there's some stuff on that back wall that looks new as well.
Welcome.
All right, so as we head up here and go through all this, let me explain some of the changes that I've decided to make regarding this series in the course of the last month. So, first of all, I have decided that I did play all of this and all of Saarthal on Legendary, and it took me a very long time. I was able to do it, but I had to do a lot of like trickery, a lot of like kiting of enemies. For the final fight, I had to find a place, an exploit spot on the floor where they couldn't get to me, and I just spammed conjuration spells. So I mean, I could do it, but it's not very exciting to play, and it is even less exciting to watch. So I reloaded an earlier save, turned the difficulty down, and did it all over again. Secondly, reading all the lines, I want to keep these videos to 30 minutes-ish, and reading all the lines and doing all that really pads the time. So I'm going to edit out some of the conversations and whatnot, just to try to keep these videos as engaging and moving as much as possible. So like right now I'm not going to read the lines. I have the subtitles on so you can see what's happening if you really care about that. I will still put like my character's thoughts and a scrolling feed and a fancy font at the top of the screen. Next, I'm doing again a lot more selective editing of parts of the game where there's just not a lot happening. So going through a dungeon, if there's a long stretch of hallway where I'm looting a bunch of baskets or urns or whatnot, I may just cut that out and get forward to the spot where like it picks up again. So we're learning our ward spell here, which is fine. This is the first time I've actually been able to do it on the first try. Normally I cast it and he doesn't throw it, and then I run out of magicka and it's a pain in the butt, but this time it worked perfectly. Right, so I'm going to explore and train as soon as this is done. And then, I think I misspoke earlier. The spell I mentioned coming in here, I mentioned that it was destruction. I think it's actually an alteration spell. It's like a self-vampire spell of some sort. I think it's alteration, not destruction. All right, let's see what's along this back wall. So let's see. We've got plenty of potions. Maybe they replenish, maybe they don't. We've got a letter here, Font of Pure Magicka. So just reading over this real quick. Oh, this looks like it could be extraordinarily handy for my training. So excellent. So we got this font, that's the same letter. So we got this candelabra, but I don't see how you activate it. So yeah, we got potions. Hopefully they replenish. This is glowing. Okay. So this is where I can replenish my magicka instantaneously rather than waiting for it or like waiting an hour or whatever I would do otherwise. Yes. Okay. I think I don't have full magicka right now because I'm hungry or maybe a little bit tired. All right, so we've got more letters, same letter. And then over here, okay. So cast spells with this, replenish magicka, rinse and repeat. This is going to be great. Alright, originally I had intended on showing each level up and then what perks I picked, but that was going to take a really, really long time. So I'm just going to sum up and then edit this down. So Conjuration Mastery, I picked as my first one for conjuration spells costing 35% less magicka, conjuration spells lasting a bit longer. And I chose that because conjuration in the end is going to be one of the most important skills for this character. Then, as I leveled Destruction up, I chose Destruction Mastery 1 and 2, so that destruction spells would cost 50% less magicka, and they'd be more powerful per level of destruction. Because in the short term, destruction is what I'm going to be using mostly in actual fights. I actually had a really hard time deciding which spell type to go up within destruction, and I wanted to go fire, but in the end the lightning path made more sense because of the plasma burns perk that comes later. So I chose ionized path 1 and 2. Shock spells and effects cast on others are up to 20% more powerful, and then more than that, based on the target's missing magicka percentage. Then static field, shock spells that would leave the target above 75% health deal enough additional damage to make up the difference. So automatically it's going to be taking, if they're at full health, taking 25% of their health no matter what. For really strong characters, that's going to be really nice. I then chose Restoration Mastery because healing is one of those spell schools that Von Doom would have. So costing less magicka and more effective. And then I got to Arc Burn, which is in the Lightning School, but shock spells hitting targets that are not fire resistant cause a plasma that deals 5 points of unresistible fire damage per second. And so that will work along with the first fire perk, which is what I picked next then, Combustion. Fire spells and effects cast on others are up to 20% more powerful. So that Arc Burn is going to be 20% more damage using lightning. I then chose Magnetize. Shock spells have 15% chance to lift the target into the air for 2 seconds, preventing movement. So it's going to lift them into the air, and then I can hit him with another spell, or I can focus on somebody else if there's multiple targets. Now, all of this training in-game took about a day and a half total. So I arrived, I had my ward lesson, and then I spent a day and a half practicing destruction and sleeping and leveling up and practicing destruction and leveling up and sleeping. And at the end of that day and a half, I was ready to go to Saarthal. So that's where we will pick up. All right, I swung by the inn and picked up some food because I am playing with survival elements in place. So that's why I need to sleep to level up, and it occasionally will tell me that I'm hungry or whatever. Plus the cold affects me. Thankfully, I have this warm cape on. Plus the armor isn't too bad, even though it is not completely covering my skin. No joke, no exaggeration. When I played this on Legendary, I actually died by wolves, by a snow wolf on the way to the dungeon. So, yeah, it's much easier game turned down to expert. Something coming up here. With my new destruction levels, this should be no problem. Unfortunately, that the levitation didn't kick in. As soon as I'm able to, the conjuration of the big dumb dog, as I like to call it, is not really. I mean, it's good for training conjuration, but it's not really fitting the style of the character. Daedra are really going to be where it's going to be at eventually. Conjuring Daedra and having them fight for me is much more Von Doom than conjuring a ghostly wolf or big dumb dog, as he will forever be known now from here on out. Alright, so again, I'm going to skip some of the walking within this place to get down to where we need to be. Apparently they've been standing out here for a day and a half waiting for me. Weirdos.
What do you think we will find in there?
It's thousands of years old. Who knows
So
what we
one
might
thing that
find.
might be that I think is nice about this particular playthrough is that because I trained for a day and a half, my destruction is already above 50. So, like, this is the first lesson, really, but I'm going into this really dangerous place, and I'm already technically an expert in one of the schools of magic. And by the time I'm doing the
Before you
later
even
stuff
ask.
with
Yes, I know.
this mage college playthrough, by the time I'm getting to the end of it and becoming archmage, I should be approaching 100 in one or more skills. So it's going to make a lot more sense that I will become the archmage at that point instead of just some newbie level 5 character that has 20 skills in a couple of schools of magic, and yet I'm now in charge of everything. This will actually make a lot more sense in-game lore-wise, I think. Right, now, eventually I'm going to want to learn more spells from the Alteration School of Magic, and then I'll be able to cast light in these darker areas. But for now, carrying a torch is good enough. So let's get my assignment, and we'll move to the next portion of this mission.
Ah, yes. Well, why don't you see if you can assist Arniel Gain? He's one of our scholars, here working on cataloging our finds. I expect he'd appreciate some help in locating any additional magical artifacts here in the ruins. Any enchanted items will do. The usefulness of the enchantment is irrelevant. If you find anything, the class can look it over. Now let's see. What shall we have the rest of you do? Brelina, my dear.
Alright, so I need to talk to this mage here, and let me just say that these mages do not sound like they are actually teachers, like they're actually competent at teaching. Sounds like they're just making it up as they go along, and it's no wonder that there's talk about students dying and stuff like that, because clearly they really don't know what they're doing. Let's be honest about it, right?
Try and be careful, all right? We don't want to damage anything.
Alright, so I have to find some magical artifacts. Head this off this direction, because that's where the arrows are. It's really dark, so let's get a torch out. Fortunately, we've got these little arrows showing exactly where I need to go. A very small little enchanted ring. I'll be able to take these to an enchanting table and get my enchanting up a little bit. At least one of them. Might want to put another one on, but I'm not going to worry about that quite yet. Alright, there's the third one, and then the fourth one is over here on this wall. Get it to first person so I can target it a little bit better. Excellent. Alright, if I remember right, I need to put this one on. Might as well put on a ring while I'm here. There it is. Hear Tolfdir off in the background, running up. But what I need to do is cast a spell at it. Ta-da! Alright, follow Tolfdir. Old man is slow. He's coming, right? There he is. You are so slow, old man. Alright. I will follow.
Well, this is highly unusual and very interesting.
I mean, is it interesting? Well, at least with him in front of me, I know that if anything jumps out, they'll attack him first. So, useful idiot in a sense.
What is this place?
And so I think we have a fight coming up. It's been a little while. Oh no, I remember this. Okay, cool. So yes, the introduction of the Sigic Order.
Well, know that you have set in motion a chain of events that cannot be stopped. Judgment has not been passed, as you had no
I feel
way
like
of
this
knowing. Judgment will
story
be passed
quest,
on
this
what
quest,
is
this
to come,
storyline was supposed to be a
and
much
how you
bigger
deal with
thing than it
dangers
ended up
ahead of
being. That there's
This
probably a
warning
bunch
is
of cut
passed to you
content.
because the Sigic Order
I haven't really
believes in
researched
you.
that, but it feels like
You, mage,
this is
and
going to be
you
a much
alone
more
have the
grand
potential to prevent
thing
disaster.
than what it ended up being.
Take great care and know that the Order is watching.
All right.
I swear I felt something rather strange just then. What just happened?
I'm sure you did, buddy. All
afraid I
right,
didn't
so
say
have this
anything.
conversation.
Can you tell me more about
And-
what you saw?
Oh man, when I played on Legendary, I died 3 or 4 times on
The
this part,
Sigic
and I
Order?
hadn't saved,
Are you
so
quite sure
it was
about that? That's very
it was
odd.
frustrating. But by the
And
third
danger
time,
ahead?
it's like, all
Why,
right,
that
quick
doesn't make any
save,
sense at all.
quick save,
The
quick
Sigics
save.
have no connection
was
to these ruins, and
super
no one's seen any of
tedious.
their order in a long time. Perhaps we should take a look inside these coffins.
I like how he immediately just
Now,
like
please do be
quasi
careful.
gaslights the character.
knows what
Like,
we're
are
going
you
to
sure?
find?"
That doesn't make any sense at all. That probably didn't really happen. You probably imagined it. Yeah,
Until
asshole.
next time.
I imagined it. Anticipating the fight a little bit. There's the magnetizing working. Love it. I was a little slow on the draw on that one. But you see how it raised up? Badass. Love it. Of course, spoiler, when I... after this, I'm actually editing this way after I did it, of course. So the levitation that happens with the magnetization perk also affects that statue in the training room, and it doesn't come back down. So I can no longer train at the school with lightning on that statue. I'll have to use some other fire or frost on that statue from here on out, unless I want that statue to theoretically rise through the ceiling and out of the college,
Watch what you're
which would
doing.
be bad. You know, I stepped on a bone. Tolfdir, I shake my fist at you. All right, we going in there, old man, or what? Come on. Oh, now they're blocking the door. That's beautiful. All right. If I back away, can jump over. Just push them, push, shove, push. All right, we're in. I do like being up on this bridge for this. limits the directions they can come from. You know, this might be too easy. I might need to move it from expert to master difficulty, because while legendary was kicking my ass, this is too easy.
Why, just look at all these coffins. This bears closer inspection. I'd like to stay a while and examine this. You, however, should press on. See if you can find whatever this
I like the sound of that.
But if it is truly dangerous, be careful. Go on ahead. I'll be sure and catch up with you before long.
Which is good, because, like with all Bethesda games, having a companion means them setting off traps and alerting the enemies and all sorts of other things. Now, of course, I'm not sneaking, so it's not as big of a deal. But nonetheless, it'd be nice to have him not getting in my way. Let's see if there's any, if they have any gems or jewelry or anything. Doesn't really look like it. All right, let's press on. All right, jump forward a little bit here, and I know I've got some enemies popping out, so fortunately, between my conjured companion and my lightning, oh, that was just sloppy of me. When I played a legendary, that just flat out killed me. And yet I still forgot it was there. Yeah, I should, in hindsight, I should definitely push the difficulty back up. This is definitely proving to be too easy. Alright. And, okay, so this was the fight that took me the longest. Well, yeah, because I didn't have an exploit spot I could use. But I'm still going to use the same technique that I always use in this room. Which, it's the same technique I use in dreams or would use in real life. In fact, I have a distinct memory of using this technique when I made my mother very, very angry and I was a little child, and I ran away around the coffee table, and she just got more angry the longer it went. So, get him on a straightaway, hit him. Get him on a straightaway, hit him. Get him on a straightaway, hit him. And I think we're good enough now, we can just finish it off. Effective. Cheesy, but effective. Story of my life. Okay. Pressing on. I am checking most of the chests and a lot of the urns, although frankly I'm not really worried about bone meal or any of that stuff. I would like to set this trap off. There we go. Learned my lesson on that last one. Set the traps off with spells. I don't suppose my companion could do it. No. Well, not useful, little man. Not useful. Alright, so I need to try to get around him, and it's not like how close I am to it. Oh, we're fine. Alright, great. Alright. So, looks like we got one of the simple puzzles here. Alright, so we got the thing right above it. Oh, it's one of those. Usually on these, I do them in order. I turn one till it matches, and then I go to the number 2, and I turn it till it matches. Then I do that on the third one, and the fourth one, and then I start over on one again. And usually that just works. Although here, it looks like that only turns that, and this one doesn't turn anything. So that means that should do it. Yes? Well, and then this one by itself, right? Yeah. I mean, I could like sit down and figure out like, okay, this one turns these two, this one turns these three, and like figure it out on paper, but bleh, who's got time for that? Doesn't take that long to just trial and error it, get it done. Oh boy, so we have traps and we have him coming back. So I want to grab that linen so I can make a proper green cape. And I'm going to stick to the wall as best as possible because I do not trust Tolfdir not to step on that plate. Well, sounds like he successfully managed to evade the trap. Good job, old man. Alright, and we got our final battle. So like I said, on Legendary, I had to like wedge myself behind one of the pillars next to the force field, and that allowed me to completely escape this enemy's gaze, and I could just cast Conjuration and let the wolf do all of the work. It was a cheap, cheesy way to win this fight. I shouldn't have that much difficulty this time, because frankly, my plan is to get down there and grab that staff. If I can get him distracted, then I can run down this way.
Nothing seems to work. Keep it busy. I'll try to drain some of its power.
Okay, I need to figure out how to get down there without actually having to like take any hits from him. So once he hits the staircase, nope, he's not taking the bait. Send the wolf down again. Missed. Here he comes. Alright, great. Now I can run down these stairs and grab that staff. Alright. Let's go ahead and equip it. And that should make this much easier. That's not doing nearly as much damage as I was hoping. Oh, Maiden actually does more, but missed. There we go. Missed. Missed. There we go. I've got the worst aim. This is why I don't play multiplayer first-person shooters. You can see why right there, because sometimes my aim is the absolute worst. The design on this is really pretty, I have to say. It's still, even after playing hundreds and hundreds of hours in Skyrim, I still find the design of this orb to be absolutely gorgeous.
The Archmage needs to be informed immediately. He needs to see this for himself. I don't dare leave this
Yeah, he
unattended.
does.
Can you return to the college and inform Sabo Saran of this discovery?
I
Please.
can return to the college. Alright. I just noticed that I was wearing my robes throughout all of that, and I didn't switch to armor at any point. That said, I really didn't get hit, so it really wasn't a big deal. Generally speaking, I'll be wearing robes when I'm training at the college, but otherwise I'll want to be wearing armor and enchanted armor. So really, hey, I think that's my first learned word. Good times. It is in fact a language, noticed Doom. Alright, so fast forwarding to the exit, and so let's talk about it. My plan is to run back to the college, report into the Archmage, maybe talk to a few of the other mages that might, especially the librarian, about other little things they would like me to do around the world. Because rather than train magic a bunch from here, I think it's more important to really start focusing on building armor. So that's going to mean I need to learn a transmutation spell, and then I need to start going around buying up iron ore or finding iron ore transmuting it into silver or gold, and then making jewelry, and then selling the jewelry to buy more iron ore. Rinse and repeat, which means I'm going to be traveling between a couple major cities, up, back and forth, and all around. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. I think that's going to be my thumbnail, is some shot of that statue. So yeah, gonna report into the College of Winterhold, and then start traveling around the major cities and making jewelry. So thank you. We just hit 30 minutes on this, so thank you so much for checking this out. My next Fallout video will probably be coming next. I've already done quite a bit of the play of making my armor, or making my armor smithing skill higher. Haven't started making armor yet, but at least getting the smithing skill up. So I'll start putting that together. My next Fallout build at Red Rocket is almost done. So yeah, hopefully with work getting to be a bit more manageable here in the next couple months, I'll be able to crank out these videos in a much more timely manner. Everybody stay safe out there, and see you soon.